Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Service Desk. Yeah. Another week, another good week.
We promised.
We are delivering now. Right? Yeah, so Beast, it's a new year, 2024.
Yes.
Exciting things happening in the tech world.
Sure.
A lot of things. In fact, like
happening.
A lot. I don't know, in data, in cybersecurity, the things that we love, many things are happening and I'm really happy. I think today's episode is just basically talking about the top trending topics basically in your field, in my field. See whether there are any similarities in what you're experiencing.
Obviously, we are in the tech world, and that means that we will definitely have whatever is happening in the tech world will definitely affect how we both work.
And you know, you're in data. I'm in information security. And either way, we are trying to ensure that the data you're working with is safe, right? So there's definitely going to be some similarities in it, right?
Sure.
But man, so I've been looking and seeing what people are saying about, the buzz things in your field, in my field, and I've seen a couple of similarities, and I'm thinking maybe we can just start off by let me ask you what I know for sure. I am 100% sure that the first thing in my mind is
what I'm thinking about.
Yes. Okay, can we say in 3, 2, 1, AI.
Generative AI.
Good.
For sure. So generative AI in my field is going to be a big thing, and I believe in your field as well, and it's going to affect how each and every individual is going to operate, whether in the data space or cyberspace, or any person generally who consumes consumes a digital device will definitely be affected by whatever is happening in the world of AI. And of course, for me, majorly it's generative AI. And generative AI is actually AI that can generate content. And I know in the past, in some previous episodes, we talked about CHGPT and how CHGPT has been changing the way we work. CHGPT has gotten much better right now as we speak. Initially, when it was released, I think in November 2022 thereabouts, it could only take in text and give textual output. But right now, the application can take in images. It can generate images. It can generate text as well. And even now, it has better contextual awareness in the sense that initially we had a word limit of, I think, 2,500 words. If I'm not wrong, or 3,000 words, I think. But right now, GPT-4, which is the latest model that has been deployed, is now allowing people to give the AI context of up to 25,000
words. But I know you use GPT-4.
Yes.
I use
I use 3.5 in my daily work.
And you've told me about the experience you've had, but I don't know what's is there, because in our world there are two things. Of course, generative AI as a concept itself, and it's something that's already being used. There's a lot of concerns. And that probably brings me to one of the things that is also a trending topic: privacy. Definitely we are seeing a lot of issues around privacy, and let me give you just a quick concern, a risk that people face. Sometimes employees feed sensitive data to
these
right
GPTs,
so there are always questions from executives. Okay, where is this data being stored? Is customer data really exposed to people? What do you think about it?
And even before we go to AI, I think generally in our African market, privacy has not been a big thing. But now we are seeing instances of companies being fined for breaching the Data Protection Act. People getting fined. Guys getting fined 4 million and stuff. So it's a big concern even for the company that I work for. We are very sensitive now to the data that we we consume and we generate and even feed out there, especially data that belongs to our customers. So I think privacy in general is going to be a big thing, and now it's even going to be a bigger thing with now AI, because now we know, like for ChatGPT, most people who are using it are now generally will feed it information. I use it to help me be more efficient. If I'm trying to write code, I will definitely go to ChatGPT first.
Okay.
I think I'm becoming now.
You're becoming dependent. But $1 million question.
Yes.
With all these concerns, privacy and all, do you think organizations are doing enough? Because it's a relatively new field and it's growing so fast, it's even hard for organizations to catch up. Do you think organizations are doing enough, especially now with regards to my field? Probably I should be asking myself this, but do you think we should be now developing policies? And I think this is the case. Policies in organizations that govern.
We should. Right? We should. And the toughest thing is now, like, I think you know it better than I do, because you are in the cyber field, and privacy for you is your daily bread. So I think for me, organization, what I can say is that I think organizations need to be better at setting up policies and controls to ensure that as much as you're consuming these fancy and good tools, we are using them responsibly, and that the data that belongs to the companies and our customers is safe. Because, for example, if you're using ChatGPT, say you even pay for the premium version, GPT-4, how sure are you that the data that you feed it is not being used in the back end to...
You see, the thing is, for one, there are concerns that your data is also being used to make the models better, right? So that's a big concern. But at the same time, we've seen a lot of huge companies. People think probably Microsoft, things like companies like Google, FireEye, the biggest of the biggest companies we know of can never be hacked. But over and over again, they are hacked, right?
And data is exposed.
They are fined in some cases, like Facebook. Of course, due to data privacy issues. But maybe I think what companies need to do, especially on generative AI, is because I know for sure many people are using ChatGPT to do many of their daily tasks.
And they should continue using it.
But the question is, maybe their risk departments need to document clearly what are the do's and don'ts. Because if, say, for example, the employees are creating accounts with organizational accounts, they say, for example, you work at company XY, right? And then you're logging in with your beast at xy.com, right? That is already, you've already submitted
some data.
So I think organizations should just do some risk analysis to see what could go wrong. Is it a risk that we are willing to accept?
I think also there are some organizations that are laying down stringent rules to limit the use of these tools. I don't know where to.
I think
draw the line, because
my honest belief is that I think they are doing this because it's a gray area. We don't have a lot of experts, even in Africa, even in Kenya. We don't have a lot of experts who know a lot of AI. And therefore, most organizations are just shy. And they want to distance themselves at least from, protect yourself.
And some of us are quick to use these tools without knowing the repercussions of submitting some data. But what I know for sure is, I know, like, ChatGPT has the founders or the creators of ChatGPT, that is OpenAI, have made some huge strides in ensuring that they conform to the standards, like GDPR standards. So I think, like, right now they are GDPR compliant, and they have now, for organizations, they have an enterprise version of ChatGPT. And what this does is, according to what they say, is that any information that you feed, as long as you are on their enterprise plan, any information that you feed to the GPT platform is not going to be used for enhancing or retraining their GPT model. So it is data that is safe, and it's not being transmitted to anyone or to, like, their team. But now you can't be sure that they are not.
Most organizations have promised us they are doing good,
but
they're doing good.
But then again, AI is here to stay, my friend.
It is.
Because it's here to stay. Like personally, I normally tell myself that I've become so lazy. But in some sense, I'm not so lazy. I'm just being efficient.
Yeah.
And the thing is, ChatGPT is a model that has been developed and continues to be developed.
Yeah.
And it has become better over time. I believe initially it had been trained on data up to 2021. As late as last year, as of August, that is the GPT-4 model had been trained on data up to August 2023. So it's becoming better and better, and I believe in the future we will have near real-time data being available. And ChatGPT is not going anywhere.
It's not.
If anything, if the worst that can happen is that it will stay the way it is.
I have a question.
Become better.
We've spoken about ChatGPT.
Yes.
Are there any other, because probably people are wondering, are there any other organizations which are creating generative AI softwares? Are there any competitors of ChatGPT probably in the near future?
For sure. I know for one, Google. Google have Bard.
They
have their own GPT. That is Bard. But from my experience, I don't use it that much because I believe it still has a long way to go to match what GPT offers in terms of the responses that you get from Google. As much as it has the better UI, I believe it's not up to the same standard as ChatGPT. And I also heard that Elon Musk has his own.
It's called Grok. Grok AI.
Yes, he has his own.
But he's limiting it. I think you have, as I speak now, it's probably restricted to some people. You probably have to sign up for notification.
I thought Elon was also part of ChatGPT, of OpenAI.
Yeah, he is. He usually advocates for it, but I'm not sure what his strategy is at the moment. To be honest, I don't have a lot of information about it. But we'll see where it goes. But he, I think last week, as of last week, they had gotten investment of $500 million. So you can see there are people who are really interested.
Investing in it.
So for sure,
AI,
for sure, AI is going to go on and become bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And you've seen Microsoft being one of the biggest investors in.
I think they are so smart.
Yeah, they are, and they've even taken it up. They're using it on Edge, Microsoft Edge.
Yeah, on Bing.
Yeah.
So the ChatGPT, and I think on Bing you can even now generate images.
You can
with the GPT-4 mod. That is, there's the image model called DALL-E 3, which I normally access from my GPT-4. Yes, but I've not tried it on Microsoft because I don't use Microsoft. But anyway, so they have the image generative model as well available on Bing. You can generate images if you've been very.
No, I tried DALL-E.
If you've been very
I don't know if
observant.
it's DALL-E or DALL-E.
It's DALL-E.
Okay. I tried it.
It's a model that used to be there some time back, and then now it's integrated into what they're delivering. And if you've noticed, I've seen a lot of people generating some fancy images. I don't know if it's from Bing. If you've been observant on social media, you would have noticed that people are generating some black.
I'm not sure whether it's probably an application.
Yeah,
but anyway.
But of course, consuming AI. So I think when all is said and done, this year 2024, we are going to see great strides in the improvement of AI, and privacy is also going to be a big deal because now with all this data being fed.
Yeah, maybe before we move from that, one of the things I have seen in AI which people are really afraid of is what it can really do, because now we have people mimicking voice. I have seen applications on adverts on Instagram, just asking me to subscribe to an application so that it can change my voice. I can record my voice at first, and then I'll just be writing scripts and generates my voice. So it's going to do a lot. But let me tell you something good. In cybersecurity, AI so living let alone generative AI, but AI as itself, it's really being used a lot because for one, it's used for threat modeling.
For sure.
It's able to pick up patterns. I know for sure, even from monitoring perspective, it's currently being used.
If you notice something that is not normal, you trigger an alert.
You trigger an alert.
Is investigated, which is
even
preventive.
on antivirus, on antivirus products, anti-malware products is becoming a big thing, and for sure, for both data and cybersecurity, AI is going to be one of the top 10 in my
I normally I don't know if it's worry or I'm just thinking, like now the way we work, maybe in my field as well. Initially, you would need someone to do data analysis. But now we have tools that are able to just feed them data, and they give you output.
Are you suggesting there will be job losses?
I'm not suggesting that. I normally believe that AI is not here to really replace us, but to just make our work easier, and also change the way we work. So we expect changes in the way we work.
So you're not an AI conspiracy theorist?
No, I'm not. I believe in AI because, to be honest, the things I've been able to do with it, the amount of work I've been able to churn out just because I'm using an AI model has been 10 times what I would do normally. So why would I say it's a bad thing? Of course, we need to regulate. That's where you guys come in. We need to also make sure that we are taming what people can do with the AI, because now assume information such as how to make a bomb is available to every Tom, Dick and Harry. My friend, anyone can be making bombs.
True. So, and you see in these models now, they are particular about the responses they're giving. If you're asking them about sexual,
but there are times you can trick it.
I know there are those.
No,
I think it's up to the organizations to do this, to just make the models better, because it's relatively new. So even as they go on, they'll make this better. I know for sure there are models which you can't really ask them maybe sexual questions.
Yes. So I think what will happen is
you can have an AI girlfriend.
You can because GPT-4, if you subscribe to the premium version of ChatGPT, they have like a voice assistant, like Siri. So you can like converse with her. So I think the possibilities are endless, and there's so much that is going to happen. And for sure, the only thing I always say is these models are here to stay. The moment you make a breakthrough, it's just like the internet. Today I was seeing someone post a newspaper article way back that was saying that the internet was just a buzz that is gone. It's not going to happen. Look, that was I think in 2004. Look at us now.
Wow.
Internet is like the part and parcel of how we operate.
If
you have no internet, you can get depressed.
Wow. The first thing you think about when you travel somewhere is there Wi-Fi? Exactly. Can I get the Wi-Fi code?
So I think people need to adapt as fast as possible. Even if your job has been data entry, for example, and now with these tools, they can be fed. Even for processing unstructured data, which has been challenging for most people in the data space. Now these models, you can feed it text. It will format that text for you. It will even churn out the sentiments from the text. It will reorganize that data. Something so like you write a sentence and it can be able to extract the different data points from that data. So like the possibilities with these tools, my friend, are endless. And the thing is, you just have to learn how to use them to make your work easier. Because if you don't, for sure, then you will need to worry about losing your job. Because technology is here to stay, and it can only get better.
I think what I would advise organizations to do is just do a thorough risk assessment on their environment. Have difficult conversations about AI. have difficult conversations about privacy, because another thing which we have really touched on as one of the things which I think in my field is really taking off is regulations.
Yeah.
Even here we've already said that like the Kenya data protection, which we had really talked about. You can check out the link here. We had done an episode on Kenya data protection.
Yeah, I remember.
And you know for sure what was up. You remember?
Yeah.
So that's going to really take up, and for sure regulation, whether it's on data protection and other, if it's in the banking field, financial field, I know for sure they are going to have more regulations about how customers' data is used.
Let me ask, from your experience, how compliant are organizations in Kenya with some of these regulations?
That is a sensitive question that I don't want to say, but I'd just say.
Are you fearing for your life or your job?
No, what I'd say. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
Organizations really need to move with time.
For sure.
And spend well on things that really matter.
Yeah.
Things that are about regulations.
Yeah.
Compliance matters are things which you cannot joke around with.
Exactly.
So if you know for sure there's something in your organization, whether it's privacy issues, data issues, anything that relates to even the cybersecurity guidelines, you need to make sure that you're compliant to that, because at the end you're the one who is losing.
I hope they are listening.
Yeah, they are. I know for sure. Yeah. So
I think also maybe in the same breath, I think the other thing with that normally comes up, maybe you know better. I think for me in 2024, I also think cloud is going to be a big thing, because when cloud came out, it was a buzzword as well as AI. And for the longest time, most people did not think that it would actually be able to come out and organizations would actually take up cloud.
True.
But I'm happy to say that currently for the organization I work for, we are fully cloud. And I believe most organizations now in 2024, especially in the Kenyan market, that have been shy to go cloud are now taking up cloud. But I'm not so sure about the banking and basically the BFSI sector. I normally hear things like we can't have our data, I don't know in what region. Maybe
there are different regulations in different countries. There are some countries which require that their data center, any information about their citizens need to reside within their countries. So therefore moving to the cloud in some cases have been I know, like say for example Namibia is one of those countries which have that. So even having a cloud
What
center.
about Kenya?
Kenya, I'm not certain. But there are a couple of countries, like even Tanzania, they require their data to be
the data centers need to be within
within their country.
So does that mean that Amazon needs to come and set shop in TZ for maybe some of these countries
what they do is they have what we call a private cloud. So it's basically a cloud setup which resides within
their region.
Actually, they can even have within their data center. So it just takes special arrangement, but it works. But as you have said, for sure, cloud is going to be a big thing.
Yes.
The only problem I have about cloud is, especially in our setup here, is we still have a lot of, we don't have a lot of experts in cloud. So you find that organizations which have taken up cloud.
I don't think moving cloud is not hard.
It is not.
And it's even more cost effective. And in my opinion, it's more efficient to go cloud than to stay on-prem. Unless your concerns are regulatory.
Yeah.
Because I believe if you have your, say, platform on cloud, number one, you are able to, first of all, access your data from anywhere.
True.
Like I normally,
it's even
like
faster.
From my experience, there are like now applications that say from my experience in the past, where you set up a data analytics platform and maybe people within the organization need data at different times. But now, because it's on premise, it's so hard to have people access this information to make real-time decisions. So somebody has to come back to the office for them to be able to make a decision. I think with moving to cloud, really the access to this information cannot be like limited, because you can access it from anywhere as long as you have an internet connection.
But for sure, there are many organizations, not just in Kenya, but across the world, which are moving to the cloud, and they're deploying more and more. Actually, some of them might be moving their data centers to the cloud, and just to improve efficiency, to decrease the cost. But the thing is, there are of course risks involved in cloud, and I think a clever company would just do a risk assessment on some of them. I think one of the key ones is called the cloud locking, which basically means, say for example, if I was to take up maybe AWS, the way I set up my environment, is it easy for me to, if something was to happen or my relationship with AWS goes is severe, how easy is it for me to move to
another
Azure,
another vendor,
or Oracle, any of those, IBM? How easy is it for me to move there? So that's one of the things that.
And then expertise as well. Now that you've mentioned it about it, I think most people, when they set up when they are setting up cloud, they just go with the basic setup, because it's easier for them to, like, now they do not, like, now you need to set up the virtual private networks and stuff like that. Not very many people are also knowledgeable with that, so you find that people are setting the rules, accept all rules, which means anyone who has, like, maybe your public IP is able to access your network.
It's true.
Which is different, which would be different if you actually had set up the cloud.
And that brings me to the point I was talking about.
Yeah.
That we don't have enough experts. I think one of the most lucrative things people should be doing is learning cloud. For sure. Because once you are knowledgeable in cloud, for sure there are so many opportunities available. And key thing is that if you do not do good configurations of your workloads on the cloud, for sure you're just setting up for failure, because your data might be accessible from outside. Probably how you're managing your developers can be something that's really that needs to be looked at, and needs to be really addressed. But cloud for sure.
And I also think maybe one of the other things that limits organizations is cloud native applications. Remember, cloud has not been taken up as much as we expected, especially in our Kenyan market. Let me say that from experience. And part of the reason is that some of the applications that were developed are not necessarily cloud native. By cloud native is you develop an application that can easily be shipped into cloud. But now we have legacy systems that are not easy to move to cloud. So I think organizations need to also now think about that and have maybe a newer versions of the same application that they are using developed that are cloud native and can be easily shipped.
That brings I guess then that brings in the aspect of development, and all that brings about the experience. I think one of the things, I don't know whether it's one of the top trends, but for sure just generally IT experts are really, we don't have really good we don't have enough, let me say, we don't have enough IT experts, especially in our market to meet the demand that's there.
What do you mean we don't have enough, and many people are out here looking for jobs?
No. So I'll tell you for sure. There are some cases where you get loads and loads of CVs, loads and loads of CVs for a certain job, application, right? When you do the interviews, you'll probably not find a qualified person, and that has been the case.
I think I can resonate with that, because I normally see people who like would go online and do a course on YouTube, say on maybe data visualization tool like Power BI. So they do like a short course.
Yeah.
They used Excel. They have no experience on like connecting to a real live database, and immediately you see them say they are data scientists.
You see now.
You advertise a data scientist job and they are there looking for that job.
And when it comes to now the interview, they fail.
Man, those are really interesting insights in the some of the trends that are coming up. And I think also one of the other things that I'm seeing in my field coming up is how data teams are working.
How
that is changing. So initially we used to have like this legacy solutions or applications that we could use to do our jobs. But now, as I had mentioned, with the moving to cloud, we have cloud native applications being developed by software developers.
Okay.
And now, even now, data teams are now employing newer tools that can help them ship their applications easily to cloud.
What are some of these examples? Like, I just give me context. What are some of those old technologies you mean?
So I don't want to mention the old technologies because of the companies that produce them and probably are using them.
Okay.
But I'll just talk about the new applications that are coming up. So we are seeing a software engineering approach to data development, where we are now seeing data teams being more agile, working in an agile manner. That means we are actually working in sprints now. We are developing our applications iteratively rather than the traditional way of having to do the whole application at a go. And even in our development now, we are using things like version control, CI/CD. So like in my day-to-day, we use a tool that is called DBT. And DBT simply means data build tool. It's an application that comes with an open source version as well as an enterprise version. And what this tool does for you, it allows you as an analytics engineer, if you have like a group of analytics engineers in your team, you're able to collaborate on the application because we use JIT. So by using JIT, we are able to version our code. We are also able to set up testing and validation on the data that we bring in. We are able to even do better documentation. The tool automatically allows you to set up documentation of your code. So this means that anyone, assume you are a new member coming to our team, we send you a link to our documentation page, and you are able to actually now be able to look at the data model. And even the better thing is that the tool does data lineage. So what data lineage is basically is the tool will show you the flow of data from source to destination. So if you are pulling data maybe from a core banking system, if you're using this tool, it will show you all the steps. So assume as an analyst, you are consuming a specific table to do your exposing it to a data visualization tool. This tool will enable you now to generate the data lineage that allows you to see how all the steps that this final table has gone through. So it came from a source system, maybe it's an Oracle system or it's a MySQL system. Shows you it was loaded into a staging schema, loaded into a specific table in the staging schema. It went some transformations. It will show you all the tables that depend on all the tables that this table depends on, or any other tables that depend on it. So you're able to like trace the flow of data from source to destination. And this makes it easier for anyone who wants to know how this data or where this data is coming from and what transformations the data has gone through. And as well, we also have tools that are now helping you like understand relationships that exist in different schemas. So by just looking at the graph, because it generates a graph for you, you're able to see all the relationships that exist within the data. And this makes it easier for anyone who's either new or wants to understand something to be able to trace everything. And also with this modern approach to development, you are able to set up your application in such a manner that, say, if you used to use a certain table and then you did a migration, you just have to change at one point and everything else falls in place, rather than having to to go to different tables updating in case you make a change.
Yeah.
You make a change in one area and
it
it
replicates.
Exactly.
Wow.
So that is something that has been very exciting for me in the past 1 year, because I started using this tool in the past 1 year. And the good thing for our viewers is that you remember that course I mentioned developing.
You promised
using that tool. So I will be showing
good.
you how to easily set up a data pipeline and even set up reporting.
Okay.
The modern way.
Good.
Yes. And open source, purely open source.
That's interesting. I was actually very quiet because this is relatively new to me.
Yeah.
Of course, I do know a couple of things about CI/CD pipelines.
Yeah, of course, if you understand software development.
Yeah. So I did, but that's such an interesting thing and an interesting topic that's going to happen.
Look forward to the course.
I will. I definitely.
And I think also the other trend that is related to this modern way of working is we are also seeing the evolution of data team roles. So traditionally we used to have data engineers, data analysts.
Yeah.
Now we are having a new role called analytics engineer. So an analytics engineer is responsible for transforming data, availing it to the analyst to do the analysis, training data teams or users on the various tools that exist, doing documentation as well.
Wow.
So, from my experience,
and more jobs.
Yes, and more jobs. Obviously,
more jobs.
Because now and even also work is becoming more fun. Imagine you are collaborating with people on the same job and using modern tools. I mean,
that's very interesting.
That's
a great trend for 2024.
Yes, so
look forward to
for sure that is something that we will continue doing and working with our viewers who are interested in making sure that that happens for them.
Oh, great. Yeah. But I know, let me say this, and I'm excited about saying this. I know the biggest trend for 2024 is definitely cybersecurity. It's definitely
why? Tell me why.
Hey man, everywhere I am looking at, it's just about cybersecurity. And the reason I'm really excited about it is because of the opportunities it's creating.
It is going to.
Yes, it's not. So of course in the cybersecurity realm, there are other things which probably have been taking precedence in maybe many years ago.
Yeah.
But there was an interesting survey done by Deloitte UK, which for the I think it was since 2015, cybersecurity has always been topping.
For sure.
Right? And we know for sure why it is. Right?
Even I know the big thing, AI is still. Cybersecurity is in there.
Yes, it is
still there. It's a big thing.
It is because more people are moving to more people are digitizing their work. More people are moving online. More people are doing work remotely. More people are having to do things collaborate in different ways, but using technology.
Our users who are not tech savvy are using their devices.
Their
phones to go
smartphones.
to Instagram. These other platforms,
and for sure they need to know how to protect themselves. So everyone has a phone nowadays. You are definitely using your phone, whether it's on Instagram or all social media sites. It could be using your laptop for different things. Could be banks have moved to online banking.
You've said that, then you've reminded me something. I heard some time back that TikTok is banned, I think in the US or something.
No. They had a lot of debate back and forth. Because they were really they are really worried about, it was about cybersecurity, because they are worried about the safety of the American users, right? The American citizens, and they were really afraid that TikTok was using it to probably mine some data.
You think okay, I don't know, but I always feel like the US is always against any application that comes from someone else.
No, it's
like Huawei. Remember?
No, you see
remember Huawei? I heard it was banned in the US because of data privacy issues. But we also have.
But it's mostly, in my own opinion, it's mostly because of, to some extent, the rivalry between US and China. And therefore there's a bit of restrictions and of course due to national security,
or maybe it's valid that those guys were
you if you're a country, you would be concerned about a person you're not really probably in good terms with. But for sure yes so for sure they had probable cause for concern. But it was addressed by TikTok by doing a couple of things, implementing a couple of controls, including in the US. So I haven't had that thing. There are some guys who had predicted that it would be closed in 2023.
TikTok.
We still
in
US
there.
but it's still
very
there.
active on TikTok. And Service Desk is actually very active on TikTok.
As well. So all those platforms and the reason cybersecurity is so big is because we are all over, and we need to ensure that everywhere you go.
But I also
you're protected.
I also feel cybersecurity is big, but data is also bigger because we exist for you to exist. For sure, because if there's no data to protect,
you are right. You are right. And the reason and the reason cybersecurity is bigger than data. Okay. These are wars. It's because cybersecurity to some degree is becoming really sensitive. It's not just about how data is and data analytics is moving. It's holistic, ensuring that organizations' data is protected. You know where your data is, and for sure you know how you're controlling that data. You have full control of your data and protecting it fully.
Okay. But so I agree, we need you and you need us.
We need each other.
We have to coexist.
We need each other. Okay. And that's why we have this podcast for data and cybersecurity, which is really exciting. But what do you think, maybe as we conclude, which one do you think is the biggest trend? Not maybe the biggest, but it's another trend.
What I was actually thinking about as we conclude is not really a tech trend per se, but if you remember in 2020 we had the COVID pandemic, and it actually changed the way people were working. And if you are lucky enough to work with a company that had some applications in the cloud, which we encourage most people to go to, you could afford to work from home. So most people from home. Actually, most people looking for jobs. It used to be something to like it used to be like a benefit. So when you go to an interview, you also ask, if these guys allow work from home.
They still do ask whether we allow work from home.
Anyway, you see. So most people are in for maybe a shock this year, because I believe now we are returning to normalcy, and most organizations are now calling people. It was fully remote, went to hybrid. Where you would work a few days from home and a few days from the office. Right now we are seeing more organizations calling the employees to come back to the office. And I think from maybe somebody who is used to working from home, it may be a hard pill to swallow. But from an organization's perspective, I think it's important that employees actually work from the office, because I feel like the organizational culture gets lost. Especially when guys are working from home, because you're just working in some sort of not much. Okay, if you have the modern tools, you can collaborate and whatnot, but there's something else that comes with actually meeting people physically. And if you're trying to drive some culture, some organizational culture within your employees, then working from the office is where you instill this. And I feel that some organizations have lost or had some culture, their culture lost because of the shift from working from the office to working remotely. Right now we're going to see more people work from the office for sure.
There is also a school of thought that thinks people are more productive from the office. I know people want to argue that.
I don't agree with that.
But I'm telling you another school of thought, okay?
That school I don't subscribe to.
So some say that you're more productive when you in an office space. Okay? So I know there are people who say that, I work better. I know for sure with the Nairobi traffic.
Those people.
Those people are you. I know they are with the traffic in Nairobi, you can lose a couple of hours on the road. But generally, there are people who believe that working from the office is a bit more productive. But of course,
maybe
what you've
my
said,
thought to that is it depends.
Depends on the person.
Depends on the person, because I believe if you are a productive employee, then it doesn't matter where you are. That is why, again, we are saying that companies need to also adopt the modern ways of working. Like now having sprints. Like now, if you have a sprint, you have deliverables, and you need to deliver within a week or two.
But how do you tell where your employees are?
You don't have to know where they are. You see, that is like micromanaging someone.
No,
Steve Jobs said you don't hire somebody to do something and then tell them how to do it.
Okay.
If you've employed me to do something and you trust me to do that thing, give me the space to do that. Some people are night owls, like myself.
Okay.
I can stay up late, up to 3 a.m. Doing work.
Okay.
Not watching movies like most people. But during, like for me, waking up is a challenge. So I would actually prefer to wake up a bit late, and then work all the way. Like right now, I work mostly remotely, but I go to the office some days. So when I'm working from home, I'll wake up at 8. I'll be at my desk up to 8 p.m. 7 p.m. Then I'll go to the gym for like 1 to 2 hours, then come back, do some work some bit, and then sleep. But now sometimes I find myself not sleeping, because when I come from the gym, I take a shower, I'm refreshed, I go back to my desk and I'm working.
Let's agree on something.
Yes.
Big organization leaders, executives have, it seems like there is a consensus, and that's why we are discussing this. Bye-bye remote work, remote working.
Bye-bye remote
work. They have some sort of agreement, which probably, I don't know what your opinion is. You can probably put it in the comment section below. What do you think is informing the executives to, recall people back to the office? It's something
but
interesting.
I think, of course, people are different. You have individuals who have to be policed to work.
True.
And you have people who can work regardless. So I think, in my opinion, the hybrid approach was a good option. Where you would want your employees to work some days from the office. There are sometimes you just need deep work. Like you need to go into deep work. You don't want any distractions, especially if you're like, I know most of the engineers will resonate with this. There are times you have something that you need to just focus all your energy on. But when you go to the office, you tend to get distracted. And not in a bad way. You'll have someone coming to your desk for something, and get lost in some chit chat. But when working from home, you also even save on time you waste in traffic. Especially if you live in Nairobi, you take like I normally, when I'm going to the office, I spend 1 hour going to the office, another 1 hour coming home back. Those are 2 hours wasted, which I would make use of if I was just at my desk.
True.
So I think there's an upside and downside to remote working. It has to be managed well, and one of the ways of managing it well is just to employ some of these making use of these modern ways of working in an agile manner, where you have like a 2-week sprint. You have dedicated work that you'll be working on, especially for people in tech. After the 2 weeks, you can be able to sit back and check.
True.
You are given, maybe you had 10 tickets to work on. What percentage have you accomplished? And that ties back to your KPIs.
True.
So
I think
whatever time you want to, if you want to work over the weekend, if you want to joke around during the week but work over the weekend,
as long as you do your deliverables.
But then again, of course, it depends
within the time.
It depends also again on the type of work. There are jobs that will not allow you to delay. Like if you have to serve a customer will not wait for you to serve them over the weekend. You serve them then.
It's
so
okay.
It
It's okay.
I think type of job,
but for sure, it's a trend that's coming slowly and surely.
For sure, this year most organizations will ask their employees to come back to the office.
Most of them. All right. I think interesting discussion. We will revisit this at the end of 2024 and see Right. Our predictions were right. Whether
we are in the data space and we predict stuff, this will happen.
Okay, we will see. We will see. But it's interesting. What are some of the interesting trends that you think we might have missed? Yeah, I'm really interested to know. So you can probably leave some of them in the comment section below and see what you're thinking about something that we might have missed in cybersecurity, in data. Yeah.
And also for our viewers, if you have something that you want to share with us, you're welcome on service desk, and we welcome visitors. We would want to hear from you as well in the comment section, to hear what you think are the top tech trends in 2024.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, all right. So thank you so much for staying with us for a whole hour. A long hour,
it's but more than an hour.
but interesting one.
Yeah.
But we will see you in the next one. Bye bye.
Bye bye.